All right. I'd like to let you know about what the City Council has done since your last meeting. Your last meeting was in August, and they have had one meeting since then on September 4th. Their September 18th meeting was canceled for Rosh Hashanah. On September 4th, the Council approved a contract with Kimley Horn to design pedestrian improvements on San Pablo Avenue at 43rd, 45th, and 47th Streets, which will be funded by a $748,000 Safe Routes to School grant from Caltrans. They also approved a request for qualifications and proposals for the design and development of an affordable rental housing development at 3706 San Pablo Avenue and 1025 West MacArthur Boulevard. This is the site of the previously approved 94-unit MacArthur San Pablo project that went into foreclosure and was subsequently acquired by the redevelopment agency, the site that is, and now owned by the city as successor agency. That will ultimately result in a new affordable housing project that will eventually come to the Commission for your approval. The Council approved a contract with CRW to add code track and GIS capabilities to our permit tracking system. This will help us to monitor code enforcement cases and use the interactive mapping capabilities of the system. The Council authorized the City Manager to enter into a contract with Caltrans for a $250,000 grant for the Emeryville, Oakland, Berkeley Transit Study, also known as EBOT. We got word in August that we had been awarded this grant to study mutually supportive land use and transportation in policies in the Central East Bay Green Corridor areas of Emeryville, West Berkeley, and West Oakland. And we expect the study to get underway in February. The Council also approved a noise waiver for evening and weekend work for a crane lift and boiler replacement on the roof of the Watergate Tower at 2000 Powell Street, and I understand that that work is now completed. The Council discussed a proposal to form a Parks and Recreation Committee to, among other things, oversee implementation of the Parks and Recreation Strategic Plan, and they directed staff to bring a resolution back to the next meeting, which is next Tuesday, October 2nd, to form that committee. They also scheduled a study session for their October 16th meeting to review the structure of all of the city's committees. The Council also approved a staff recommendation to form an ad hoc committee to develop and implement a public art concept for the Powell Street overpass and the area under it to implement those aspects of the Shellmound Design Guidelines. The committee will include council members Asher and Brinkman, 2 members of the Public Art Committee, adjacent property owners, and members of the community. And finally, I provided an informational report to the Council on the Commission's deliberations on the art.com sign matter at your August 23rd meeting. Moving on to other news, I'd like to just remind you all about the annual Celebration of the Arts show, which is coming right up. It starts week after next, I guess, October 6th through the 28th, and it will be at 5890 Christie Avenue, which is the former, I understand, is the former Premier Crew building behind the public market at 59th and Christie, which the city now owns. The gala reception will be next Friday, October 5th from 6 to 9, and our talented resident photographer, Arlie Cassidy, once again has a piece in the show, and I understand that Commissioner Steinberg also has a piece in the show. Finally, with regard to the zoning update, I hope to see you all at the community meeting this coming Saturday, day after tomorrow, the 29th, from 10 to noon here in the council chambers and the link. And that will be followed, I hope this is on all of your calendars, on Tuesday, October 30th, a joint study session of the Planning Commission and City Council starting at 6 p.m. The final meeting of the Steering Committee will be on Thursday, November 15th at 6 p.m. to review the entire code and hopefully recommend its adoption and then have a party. And the Planning Commission adoption hearing is scheduled for your December 13th meeting, to be followed by a City Council adoption hearing at their January 15th meeting. That concludes my report. I'd be happy to respond to any questions you may have.
Are there any questions? No? Seeing none,